It's Ashley from Notjustboxing here with the former European champion Lauren Parker. Lauren, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
So it's fight week, we're 2 days away.
Yep.
Looking to get that belt.
Yes.
So a little bit of animosity up there. I know obviously she cleared it up quite quickly, but
Yeah.
I've not seen that post. What exactly was it?
So it was basically a post that said, that if I go and get those belts, I'll be jumping the queue. I'll be doing a bit of queue jumping. And I just listened to it and I was just like, I don't really get it. She tried to explain it, and listen, this is petty really, it's just petty talk, but it still don't make sense to me, because really there's no one else in the division that is in front of me that deserves a shot at those titles. Again, like you said, being a former European champion, I just feel like, well, I'm next in line, and once I win that, isn't that what I'm here to do? I don't know. So, but yeah, that was basically it. And I don't know, I got asked a question and it kind of just come off the tongue. So I just addressed it, and I don't think we're any clearer, but we'll move. It's all good.
So you said you were in the dark for a while. What did you mean by that?
Just in terms of like promoters not really jumping on like me as an athlete, really. I've had unified promotions, which they're not around anymore, unfortunately, and that I thought was going to take off and be fantastic, but that fell to the wayside. But I've never had any sort of big promoter kind of want to back me. So yeah, in terms of being in the dark, I have. I box on my manager's shows, Steve Goodwin, and he regards himself as a small hall promoter. There's not a lot of, would you say, like publicity around it, that sort of thing. So it's kind of behind the scenes. If we look at my European title, I had to fund that myself. Normally a big promoter would jump on the chance of, promoting a European title, but that come from me. But listen, I'm grateful for it, and I've got myself here through hard work and determination, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't see what it is like for the average fighter that is going through. I wouldn't call you average, a European champion.
Thank you.
For someone of that caliber, I did a post recently on it, but when you've got the British title, the European title, unfortunately, it's still not just enough. It's something you dream of when you turn over. You get it, and then all of a sudden, like you said, you're sitting in the dark.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, and it sucks as a fan to see people that are just sort of washed under, and it's just that part of the business that no one likes to see.
It is that part of the business. A lot of people are going, what's next for you? Like, you should be having big things coming your way, and I'm like, I wish I could tell you that I did, but I honestly I don't. And yeah, it was one of those things, like you win the title. I won the title, and I got forced a mandatory on me straight away, which was an Italian lady fighter, and normally you get a voluntary, so we got straight in with a mandatory. But it was one of those where you have the chat with your team, and it would have been raising the money again or going to Italy, and we decided as a team that wasn't the best thing to do. Step aside, because you'll be made mandatory for the British and the Commonwealth, and that's going to be your moment, sort of thing. And a bigger promoter should hopefully jump on that. And that's exactly what's happened. I'm really grateful to Izzy, to GBM, and everyone behind the scenes for allowing me to be here today, have that opportunity to showcase myself on DAZN. I think it's fantastic, and yeah, like I say again, I'm just very grateful.
A lot of people say obviously women's boxing's come so far and it's doing so good, but it's no different to the men's in terms of you've only got a handful of fighters that have made it. And I am seeing so many people that you guys, especially with the 2-minute rounds, you are at war. You are putting on a relentless pace, especially if you're doing 10 2-minute rounds. It is something that every fan always enjoys watching, usually more than the men's. So it's very difficult, like as a reporter especially, to see this happen time and time again.
And it will continue to happen, I think. But women's boxing is fantastic. It's moving. I think 2-minute rounds is what makes it really, really exciting. And a lot of people go, oh, I don't like women's boxing, but a lot of these people making those comments have never tuned in to women's boxing.
And they always think they could beat you as well because they're a man.
Exactly, always the way. And they probably don't like it. Don't like women doing a manly thing, if you like. But I think it's what makes women's boxing. It makes it really, really exciting. I think it probably should stay as it is. But yeah, it's all round great. But it's nice to see people eventually come through. Not just me. I'm talking about there's lots of fighters that get not ignored, but pushed to the side or whatever. So
and you don't want to be irrational. You don't want to be different. Obviously, like the call outs and things. If it's not you, then it's not. But one thing I do like is if there is someone in particular that's got a belt that you want, you go into their fight and getting in their face. You don't have to be disrespectful, but just being there.
Yeah.
That is such a good way to get a fight across the line. It's
absolutely.
like Joe Calzaghe with Bernard Hopkins. I don't know if you saw with Andre Ward recently. He had his podcast with him.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, you've got to get yourself in there, and I think this fight between myself and Emma's been pending for a while. Like I said, I won that European title, and she was, calling me out, wanting to come and fight me. So, yeah, it's been a long time, but we're here now, and it's going to be a great night of boxing. I'm looking forward to it. This is my 4th time boxing at York Hall. It's not my home because I don't live anywhere near here, but it kind of is home, because I've been there 3 times before.
Is it your favourite venue to fight at?
Do you know what? It's pretty good. I think with the ring walk and the setup and everything, and also being so iconic, it's great to be there.
I love being on the balcony, watching down on it.
It's great.
It's like a gladiator.
Yeah, it just feels like everyone's like on top of you, the noise and everything. It's good. And do you know what? Like, over the years, my fan base is growing. I'm very appreciative to everybody that buys a ticket and comes to support. So when they all do come out in force, it's an amazing atmosphere, and I just got to soak it all up, really.
Are we going to see anything different to the old Lauren Parker that we've seen in previous fights? Has there been a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors? Have you levelled up, would you say? Yeah,
I think I'm levelling up all the time. We're going through different scenarios and, different things in the gym. My training changes with every camp. I get fitter, I get stronger. So, Lauren's going to be Lauren, and I'll have to adapt because Emma is a different fighter. But I'm excited. I'm excited to have the challenge, get out there and show what I'm made of, really, because I do feel like I've changed a lot over the years. When you look at myself, sort of like, I hate saying this, but like the pre-COVID time, my first 6 professional fights, I am not even like that anymore. I think since my first fight in Sheffield, when I got my first knockout, I think that has been the turning point for me, and I'm constantly changing. Did that give you a lot of
confidence when you got that first knockout?
Absolutely. To get a knockout, it's like, whoa. And the thing is as well, I didn't even expect it. It just come out of nowhere. I was like, oh my God, I've knocked the girl out. This is mad. But yeah, when you look at it, of course, it fills you with confidence, and it makes you realise, actually, I'm capable of that. And your whole attitude changes, your mindset changes. You win a title, you win another title. You get put on a show like GBM, and you just kind of think, whoa, this is fueling me. This is confidence coming through. I love it.
That's the great bit of boxing.
Yes.
You're never the finished article.
No.
Every fighter that you're seeing, every single time, they're constantly levelling up.
Yeah.
Obviously, until you get to the end of your career, it's great to see that. Compare yourself now into 3 years' time.
Oh, the change is unbelievable, but that comes with the stepping stones that you make. Every time you step up, you box for a smaller title, then you move on, and I think you're a different fighter every time, because you just, it's constantly showing you what you're made of, and then nothing but confidence comes from that.
And you feel better in the gym, didn't you? Obviously, I've not boxed professional with titles, only amateur, but after winning a fight and getting back in the gym,
it's a mad feeling.
Like the new aura and confidence, you're on the bag, you're sharper, everything just feels different.
Yes, absolutely. I can only agree with you on that one. It's a great feeling, nothing succeeds like success. That's what we say in the gym, and it's true. It's true. So, we'll see what happens on Friday night.
So, lastly, can you just look in the camera and give a message to Emma?
Like before, I'm coming. That's it.
Really, do you want to thank any sponsors?
Yeah, I'd love to thank all of my sponsors. You're all incredible. Who have we got? Ebony Bridges, New Era, JC Parker Glazing Solutions, Raw Sport, Look Logos of Stevenage. We have got... Call them out on the back.
I'm ready to work. I'm ready to make the fights happen.
Wait, I'll read them. Yeah, I can't, unfortunately. I'm going to have to put the tripod down. I'm just going to read them out. We've got Kelly Kemp Laser Specialist, Clean Kept Yard, Coulter Electrical Contractors, Research and Development Limited, Wentworth Kitchens. You've got a lot of sponsors. You're doing all right, ain't you? You've got a lot of sponsors.
But these guys are there, and they know exactly the work that goes in. A lot of these people that are sponsoring me as well, are, they know me through people, or they come to my boxing fitness classes, that type of thing. And obviously they've got their own businesses, but they see what goes on behind the scenes. They see the sparring that I do and who I'm sparring, or I've come back from sparring, I'm like, I'm buzzing because I've had a good one, or things like that. So they know what goes on, they know the hard work that gets put in, and I'm just really grateful that they can all get behind me and back me. And without them honestly. Like everybody says, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen for you. You know, they got to help me, and I'm just very grateful for it.
I've got one more question now. We're talking about sponsors. Have you got any advice to people? Because it's very hard for a lot of up-and-comers to get them. And reading all of them just then, obviously you've built yourself a very good reputation. What advice have you got?
Well, at the beginning, it was hard for me as well. I've had to obviously learn along the way, but I think, one, be yourself, be a good person that people can invest in you, build yourself up, so get some fights underneath you to start with, build it like your record a little bit, and then approach these companies. Maybe, you know, write a standard letter, explain who you are, what you plan to achieve.
Go on ChatGPT.
You could do that. Sound amazing if you want to. And then once you've done that, maybe sort of set some packages out of what they can sponsor you and what they expect to get from that. And I think if you can kind of get that down, then you've got something to send people, and then they know what they're going to be getting back. But a lot of people are genuinely there to help you as well. They know it's tough. And just by helping you and funding you anyway, they can gain so much out of that. You know, it's tax deductible. You know, you're repping their brand. Like today, I'm repping their brand on a good platform, that sort of thing. So yeah, I think just be a good person, approach these people with a good mindset, and hopefully they'll help you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lauren. I'll see you on Friday.
Thank you very much. Cheers.